You think you've seen tough builds before. But this one? This one is different. Because this isn't just about wrenches and parts and long nights in the garage. This is about a car that doesn't want to come back to life, and a team that refuses to let it stay dead. Let's catch you up because a lot has happened. While everything on the outside looked exciting, Miami trips, the Bugatti build, buying a whole house, the reality inside the garage told a completely different story. One car sitting there, half-finished, fully rebuilt, and still not running. And until that changes, nothing else matters. So the moment Matt gets back from all of that chaos, no rest, no easing in, he goes straight back to this problem. Because this car has been eating at him. And honestly, you'll understand why in about 2 minutes. Here's what makes this situation so unusual. This car wasn't just repaired after the crash. It was rebuilt from the ground up and then fitted with a full challenge kit on top of that. And the moment that challenge kit went on, Ferrari made their position very clear. As far as they're concerned, this is no longer their car. Think about that for a second. You crash. You rebuild. You go further than anyone expected. You spend more money, more time, more energy than most people would even consider. And then the one company on the planet that truly understands every wire, every sensor, every line of code inside that car, they look at what you've done and they say no. No help. No support. Door closed. That rejection hurt. But then, after weeks of silence, Ferrari finally responded. And for a moment, there was hope. A real crack of light coming through. Maybe this was the turning point. Except the car still wouldn't start. And every road kept leading back to the same place. The hybrid battery. Now, if you haven't been following this build closely, you need to understand what this battery actually is. This isn't a regular 12 volts sitting under a bonnet somewhere. This is the heart of the entire car. It's what brings the electrical system to life, what talks to every sensor, every module, every critical component. Without it working correctly, you're not fixing a car. You're just guessing. And the price of that guess? $18,000. Just to try. But here's what makes it even more frustrating. Even if you spend the $18,000, even if the new battery shows up at your door, you still can't just plug it in and go. It has to be coded, programmed specifically to the car. And only Ferrari can do that. So now you're caught in a trap. You need Ferrari to code the part. But Ferrari won't touch the car. And you can't move forward without the part. It's a circle with no exit, and every day you spend standing in it costs you more time, more money, and more of your sanity. That's where this build was sitting, stuck in that impossible loop. But while the battery situation kept everyone up at night, work wasn't stopping on the rest of the car. Because there's another major challenge that most people following this build haven't fully appreciated, and that's the cooling system. When that challenge kit went on, it didn't just change how the car looks. It changed almost everything under the skin. The entire front-end layout is different now. Radiators relocated. Mounts custom fabricated. Routing redesigned from scratch. Nothing from the standard car applies anymore. This is where Bob comes in. And quietly, without much fanfare, this guy is doing some of the most impressive work on the entire build. Because none of it is off the shelf. There is no instruction manual for what they're doing here. Every bracket has to be made. Every fitment has to be figured out. He's taking parts designed for a race car and making them work on something that also has to function as a road car, and he's doing it properly. When the main radiator finally arrives, you can see immediately that this is not a standard piece. It's large, it's heavy, and it's completely unlike anything that would have come on this car from the factory. And here's the uncomfortable truth underneath all of that. Nobody actually knows if it's going to be enough. Because the race version of this car that the challenge kit was designed for, it doesn't run a hybrid system. This one does. So they're combining things that were never meant to go together, in ways that have never been tested, hoping the result holds up. They install it, step back, and somehow it fits. Perfectly. That quiet moment right there? That's the kind of small victory that keeps a build like this moving. You hold on to those moments because everything else is a fight. And the fight continues immediately with the air conditioning system. If the cooling system was complex, the AC is a whole different level of frustrating. The pipes are rigid. There's no flex, no give, no wiggle room for adjustment. And because the front end has been completely rerouted, nothing lines up the way it should. So now they're working with connections that were never designed to meet each other. Cutting pipes, trying different angles, adding sections, rerouting runs. It becomes clear very quickly, welding is the only way this gets solved, which means Bob has to come back. Meanwhile, in another corner of the same garage, things look almost peaceful. A few other cars getting paint protection film. The 812, the Gallardo, the GT3 RS. Clean lines, fresh finishes, looking exactly the way they should. It's a strange contrast. One corner of the garage is calm and methodical. The other corner is a battle. But let's be honest, you're not here for the calm corner. Everything comes down to one moment. The moment they plug everything in. Every wire, every sensor, every connector that Ferrari flagged as critical, all of it properly seated, properly connected. This is it. This is the attempt. The battery connects. And instantly, hazards. Flashing nonstop. Dashboard lighting up, screaming at them to plug the car in immediately. So they plug it in. And nothing happens. No charge. No response. The car just sits there, warning lights blazing, completely unresponsive. You can feel the energy in the garage shift at that point. Because they've been here before. Same warning. Same dead end. Same silence from the car. And then comes one of those moments that sounds almost comedic from the outside, but actually says everything about where they are mentally. Dips gives them a method to clear the hazard warning. A specific sequence. Left, wait, right, wait. Like something out of an old video game cheat code. They actually try it, only to realize he's winding them up. It's funny, but it's also telling. When you're that deep in a problem, you'll try anything. Absolutely anything. So they make the call. The $18,000 battery. No more waiting, no more hoping the old one recovers. Because earlier, when they disconnected the battery management module, the hazards stopped. That was the clue. Everything pointed back to the battery. So they go for it. The new unit arrives. Everything gets stripped back down, coolant lines disconnected, connections removed, the old battery pulled out. And while they're in there, they find something they weren't looking for, an oil leak. Bad seal. Simple fix. It actually gets replaced without drama, without a new problem spawning from it, and that small, uncomplicated victory feels enormous compared to everything else going on. New battery goes in. Everything gets connected. This is the moment. They connect the 12-volt system, and the hazards come back. But this time, something else appears too, battery thermal runaway warning. That's not a routine caution light. That is the car telling you something is critically wrong. That is panic mode. The team adds coolant, lets things settle, and tries again. And then, something changes. The ignition comes on. For the first time, the car actually responds. That is real progress. Genuine, undeniable progress. Except it won't turn off. And the system still believes the battery is overheating, even with fresh coolant and a brand new unit installed. They plug in the diagnostic equipment. And every single fault code, every single error, traces back to the same root cause, battery temperature sensors. They check every wire. Everything looks correct. Which leads them to the conclusion nobody wanted to arrive at. It probably needs coding. And only Ferrari can do that. And if you want to try it yourself, you need their proprietary diagnostic tool, $20,000 to $30,000, and even then, you might still need Ferrari's authorization to actually use it properly. And going back to Ferrari carries its own risk, because one flagged modification, one altered connector, could give them grounds to say the entire wiring loom needs to be replaced. Which means stripping everything back out. Starting over. This is where the build sits right now. $18,000 spent on a battery. The ignition finally coming on. And the car still not starting. Even Dips, who has been through more builds than most people could imagine, admits it. Sleepless nights, constant testing, no clean answer. There's progress. The hazards clear sometimes. The ignition responds. But the one thing that still hasn't happened is the one thing that matters most. This isn't just a rebuild anymore. This is something else entirely. A test of patience, of problem solving, of how far you're willing to go when every path forward seems to lead to another wall. And when this car finally starts, and it will, it's going to be one of the most earned moments in any build you've ever watched. Because right now, this is unfinished business. And unfinished business doesn't stay that way forever.